in the bustling heart of the city, where the aroma of fresh-baked bread danced through the air like an invisible invitation. A small bakery named Sweet Haven stood as a beacon of warmth. It was a place where laughter mingled with the clink of coffee cups, and dreams were frosted onto cakes. But on this rainy afternoon, as thunder grumbled outside, a woman named Maria stepped through the door, her worn coat dripping puddles on the tiled floor. Clinging to her hand was her 5-year-old daughter, Lila, whose wide eyes sparkled with a mix of wonder and quiet hunger. Maria's face was etched with lines of exhaustion, the kind that came from scraping by on minimum-wage jobs and skipped meals. Today was Lila's birthday, and Maria had promised her something special, a cake, even if it meant begging for scraps. Before we go deeper, if you believe kindness still matters, if you believe treating every human being with dignity, please like this video, share it, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to Silent Struggles, and also tell us in the comments where you're watching from. We love hearing from you. Asterisk, do you have an expired cake for my daughter? Maria asked the baker, her voice barely above a whisper, cheeks flushing with shame. The words hung in the air like a fragile plea. Behind the counter, the young baker, Alex, paused mid-wipe of the glass display. His apron was dusted with flour, and his kind eyes softened at the sight of the little girl peeking over the edge, her tiny fingers pointing at the colorful pastries. It's her birthday, Maria added, her voice cracking. We can't afford a fresh one, but maybe something that's past its sell-by date. We don't mind. Asterisk. The bakery fell into a hush. A few customers glanced over, some with pity, others averting their eyes. Unbeknownst to Maria, standing just a few feet away, pretending to browse the cookie selection, was Elias Thorne, a reclusive millionaire whose tech empire had made him one of the wealthiest men in the country. Dressed in a simple black suit, no tie, he looked like any other businessman grabbing a quick treat. But Elias had heard everything. His heart, hardened by years of boardroom battles and isolation, stirred unexpectedly. Expired cake? For a child's birthday? The words pierced him like a forgotten memory. Asterisk, Elias wasn't always rich? Flashbacks flooded his mind as he eavesdropped. He remembered his own childhood in a cramped apartment, where a single mother would rummage through dumpsters for dulled bread. Birthdays were marked with a single candle and a stale muffin, if they were lucky. Success had erased those days, but not the scars. Now, at 65, with no family left, Elias wandered the city incognito, seeking something money couldn't buy. Today, fate had led him here. Asterisk, Alex, the baker, leaned forward with a gentle smile. Ma'am, we don't keep expired goods, they get donated or tossed. But wait here. He disappeared into the back, emerging with a small, undecorated cake from the day's unsold batch. This one's on the house. Happy birthday, little one. Lila's face lit up like the sun breaking through clouds, her small thank you echoing sweetly. Maria's eyes welled with tears as she hugged her daughter. You're too kind, she whispered to Alex. But as they turned to leave, Elias stepped forward, his voice steady but laced with emotion. Excuse me, he said. I couldn't help but overhear. Asterisk, Maria froze, clutching the cake box like a lifeline. Who was this stranger? Elias introduced himself simply as Eli, omitting his last name. That was brave of you, he told her. Ask him for what your child needs. Most people wouldn't. He pulled out his wallet, but Maria shook her head fiercely. We don't need charity. Sir, just this is enough. Elias paused, respecting her pride. Instead, he asked about Lila's dreams. The girl shyly mentioned wanting to be a doctor, to help people like her mom who worked so hard. Maria shared snippets of their life. Her husband's passing 2 years ago, the endless bills, the food pantry visits. Elias listened, really listened, his own story mirroring theirs in ways he hadn't shared with anyone. Asterisk, as the rain pounded harder outside. Elias felt a twist in his plan. He had come to the bakery on a whim, but now he saw an opportunity. What if I told you I own a company that helps families like yours? He said casually. Maria eyed him skeptically. What company? Elias smiled faintly. Thorne Innovations. Ever heard of it? Her eyes widened. Thorne, the billionaire philanthropist rumored to be a ghost. But this man looked ordinary. You're joking? She laughed nervously. Elias pulled out his phone, showing a quick news article with his photo. The bakery gasped. Collectively, Alex dropped a tray in shock. Asterisk, but the real twist was coming. Elias wasn't just offering money. He had a secret. Years ago, after losing his own daughter to illness at Lila's age, he had vowed to help others anonymously. He funded scholarships, medical bills, and small businesses, but never revealed himself. Today, something broke that rule. Your story reminds me of mine, he confessed, his voice trembling for the first time. I lost my little girl because we couldn't afford treatment. I spent my life building walls with money, but you've shown me what real strength is, love without limits. Asterisk, Maria's heart raced. This wasn't just help, it was connection. Elias offered to pay for Lila's education fund, Maria's overdue rent, and even a job at his company if she wanted. But the emotional climax hit when Lila tugged at Elias's sleeve. Mister, do you have a birthday? We could share my cake? Tears streamed down Elias's face, the first in decades. In that moment, the millionaire who had everything realized he had nothing without humanity's simple kindness. He knelt down, hugging the child, whispering, "You've given me the best gift already." The bakery transformed into a scene of quiet magic. Customers who had been mere observers now applauded softly, some wiping tears. Alex, recovering from his shock, offered fresh coffee on the house. Maria, overwhelmed, accepted Elias's offer. Not out of desperation, but because she saw the sincerity in his man healing through helping. "Why me?" she asked as they sat at a corner table, Lila happily munching a cookie. Elias sighed, staring out at the rain. "Because you asked for an expired cake, not a handout. You taught me that true wealth isn't in banks. It's in the courage to love despite hardship." Asterisk as the afternoon unfolded. Unexpected layers peeled back. Elias revealed he visited bakeries like this one because they reminded him of his mother's old job as a pastry chef. She had died poor, but her recipes lived on in his memories. In a twist Maria never saw coming, Elias admitted he had been funding Sweet Haven anonymously for years. Alex's bakery was one of his quiet investments, started after spotting the young baker's talent at a community event. Alex, overhearing, joined them, his jaw dropping again. "You're the silent partner, the one who saved us from closing last year." Elias nodded humbly. "I believe in places that feed the soul, not just the body." Asterisk the emotional peak crested when Maria shared her own hidden pain. "After my husband died in a factory accident, I almost gave up, but this is my reason." She pulled out a faded photo from her wallet. Her family. Happy once. Elias's eyes widened. The factory was one his company had acquired years ago. In a shocking revelation, he confessed that factory. "I bought it after the incident. I reformed the safety protocols, but I never knew the faces behind the stories." Guilt washed over him. "If I had acted sooner. Maria placed a hand on his. "You can't change the past, but you're changing our future now. That's what matters." Asterisk tease flowed freely, as Elias promised to investigate any unresolved claims from the accident, ensuring Maria received the compensation she deserved. Lila, sensing the heaviness, drew a picture on a napkin of cake, with candles from Mr. Eli. The simple gesture shattered Elias's composure. He had billions, yachts, mansions, but this child's drawing was priceless. "You've reminded me," he said through sobs, "that kindness isn't about grand gestures. It's about seeing the human in everyone." Asterisk as the rain eased into a drizzle, the group parted with hugs and promises. Maria and Lila left with not just a cake, but hope renewed. Elias watched them go, feeling lighter than he had in years. He returned to his empire, but changed, starting a foundation in his daughter's name, focused on single parents and children's health. Word spread quietly. The bakery became a local legend, a place where miracles happened over expired dreams turned fresh. Asterisk in the end, the story wasn't about money or twists of fate. It was a reminder that in a world of expired hopes, a single act of selflessness can bake warmth into the coldest hearts. Kindness, like a shared cake, multiplies when given freely. And humanity shines brightest when we listen, really listen, to the pleas around us. Maria, Lila, and Elias prove that no one is too poor to give love, and no one too rich to need it.